Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's try that one more time. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
That was a little bit better.
You're definitely a motivator.
Man, let me tell you.
Can we try it one more time?
Let's try it one more time. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. I even got a little arm action right there. Awesome. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. They asked me to come in here and speak for about 2 or 3 hours on the basics of... I'm just joking, obviously. I'm really just going to go on for about 20 minutes, and I hate being introduced. I mean, nothing against you, Rich, but I hate being introduced as the motivational Tony Robbins type of speaker guy, you know what I mean? But really, I'm just going to talk about some basics behind, how I feel on a daily basis and how I've been a little bit successful in my current business, okay? My name again is Manny Soto, so if you're taking notes and you want to Google me or look into all my background and things like that, you're more than welcome to. I do financial services, yes, but I normally like to speak to large groups of people just to kind of benefit their state, okay? I have 3 kids, 2 boys, 14, 12, and a 3-year-old little girl. So you can bet that parenting is a challenge. How many of us are parents in here by show of hands? Oh, wow. Okay. How many of us are not parents by show of hands? Okay. So there's a couple people that just don't want to raise their hands, right? Awesome. I'm with it. I'm with it. All right. If we're all taking notes, I really just want to go on 3 different things. I wrote some notes before I actually came here, and I want to, out of respect for your time, I want to make sure that I'm not interrupting myself with my cell phone or anything like that. I'm not text messaging, so I would hope that I have the same respect from you. Can we all agree with me in saying so? Yes? All agreed, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay? Thank you very much. Motion carried. All right, number 1, I grew up not so much poor to middle class. I would say I was middle class. Mom and Dad, they were both divorced at 5 years old, so I learned a lot of things from my mom, learned a lot of things from my dad. I was one of those latchkey kids, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My mom had a hot little Ford Fiesta. How many of us remember those Ford Fiestas? She had a hot little Ford Fiesta hatchback with red interior. She called it leather, but it was really vinyl. You know what I mean? And we go to she'd drop me off at school and stuff, and we get in these big old arguments. And some of the kids used to bag on my mom's car, and I'd be like, hey man, it's leather. And they used to bag on me some more, And I used to think to myself, man, mom was going to school, coming home, doing my homework with me, and at the same time, dad was working in a different city and building his life. As time goes on, though, we kind of forget about what's important to us. Wouldn't you guys agree with me in saying so?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? So number 1, I'd like you to write this in your notes, is we all need to have a goal. A goal. We don't want to just go to work, come home, feed the kids, watch TV, go to work to pay bills, go to work to pay bills, go to work to pay bills, do we?
No.
We want to have some other goal other than making someone else wealthy. Would you guys agree with me in saying so?
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what I really want to start off by asking you all, what's your goal? What are we all shooting towards? So if I were to be a pilot, let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say I'm the pilot. Where would you guys like to travel tomorrow? If I said, sky's the limit, you can go anywhere you'd like to, where would you like to go?
Fiji, Europe.
Fiji, Europe,
Africa.
Africa, anyone else?
Rome.
Switzerland, Rome, anyone else? Come on, throw it out at me, you guys. Everybody participate, please. Where would you like to go, sir?
Italy.
Italy. He had it on the tip of his tongue, but he was like, I'm ready now. How about yourself, sir?
India.
India, okay. How about yourself, ma'am?
Greece, Egypt, India.
Greece, Egypt, India.
I have big.
Don't matter. Isn't that crazy? When we actually start to speak about it, when we actually start to say it, see, before you even speak about it, you got to think of it, don't you?
Yes.
Then you got to say it. And in a group setting like this, you're like, oh man, I hope he doesn't call on me. Right? But you're still thinking about it because it's forced out of you. Okay? that's when coaching comes into mind, etc., etc. And some of us, our wives are our biggest coaches, right? So things, so things like that are very important. So if we were to go to Greece, Mrs., okay, we go to Greece, we jump on my plane, okay? I got a big 747. I'm the pilot. You can all take 10 people with you. Now imagine that for a second. Think of it in your minds. You got the picture? I say over the loudspeaker, "Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to our flight. We're going to Greece today. And I want to let everyone know that I have no instructions on how to get there. I have no plan. I don't even know how much gas is in the tank. We're going to wing it today and hopefully get to Greece." You guys got that?
Yes.
How many of you would like to be on that type of flight? Would we probably get in some sort of accident? We may run out of gas. We may have to look into the raft, if you know what I mean. Right? You see, even the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people will perish, yes?
Yes.
So, if we have no goal, if we have no direction, how are we ever going to get there? Ding. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hopefully I got all your attention so far. Okay? So number one is have a goal. It's so, so important. If you don't have, if I'm going to the supermarket, how many of us have been to the supermarket and we don't have a list? Do we pick up other things and we throw it in the basket?
Yes.
Make sense? Okay? So first and foremost is have a goal. So hopefully all of you wrote that down. The second thing is act as if. Can I write on this?
Yes. Sure.
Is it? I'm not going to like tag or anything. Is it? Okay, cool. Act as if and stop following the crowd. What was number one?
Have a goal.
Have a goal for yourself.
Have a goal. Act as if and stop following the crowd. Have you guys ever heard of the triad of emotion? No?
I haven't.
How many of you have, if right now, last night, hypothetically speaking, you hit the lottery. So you got, how much is the lottery right now?
7 million.
You can't win if you don't play though, right? Right? So $7 million, okay? So you got $7 million in your checking account, hypothetically speaking, okay? How would you feel right now?
Nervous.
Debt free.
Right? What would you do with the money?
Invest.
Anybody?
Pay off
Throw some
bills.
ideas at me.
Invest.
Invest,
Start a business.
start a business. Anyone else?
Research.
Research. Anyone else?
Establish a charitable foundation.
Establish a CRT. Anyone else?
Take a vacation.
Travel, take a vacation, a bunch of different things, right? The biggest thing is how would you feel if you actually had that type of money in your checking account right now? You'd feel elated, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Would your body language be like this?
No.
Or would it be like this? Man, you're in such a great mood today. Man, what happened? Did you hit the lottery? You ever heard that? Ever heard someone say, right? See, the triad of emotion is like this. If I can make all of you feel in that way as if you just hit the lottery, how many of you would actually want to participate by a show of hands? Excellent. Cool. So this triad of emotion is so important, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The number one, the biggest part of the way you feel on a daily basis is, believe it or not, your physiology. Physiology. The way that you actually feel. Like, I don't work out a lot, but I like to at least do 5-10 minutes a day. You know, whether it's running up and down the stairs after my kids, or whether it's going outside for a jog, anything like that. 5 or 10 minutes, I gotta get physical, right? So, number one part is physiology. The way that you're sitting in your chair, the way that you everyone's gonna sit up now. So the way that your posture is on a consistent basis, the way you walk in a room. You ever been at the market? I go to the market a lot, I guess. But you ever been at the market and like there's someone in front of you and they just got some pep in their step, you know what I mean? And if you're the type of person that I am, like I'm like, man, will you just get out of my way? You know what I'm saying? Like they're slow pokes or they're text messaging while they're pushing the cart or something like that, right? Physiology is so important. It's gotta be, you gotta be active. You gotta be constantly, hey man, you know, boom, 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 boom. Moving. Be a pumped up you. You don't have to be, you know, this super excited guy that's gonna scare people, but be a pumped up you. Number 2 is your focus. If you wake up with worries, doubts, and fears, you'll go to sleep with worries, doubts, and fears. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I used to work for an auto finance company. The name of the company was Triad Financial Services. Anyone ever heard of that company before? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 19% rates, ridiculous. I was in their collection department. I didn't always do financial planning, guys. You know, I repoed people's cars. I was real good at it, too. So I'd be on the phone. I would tell people, you know, what they need to hear to actually have them drive the car in. I was dealing with some very, very bad people. I mean, these people, they were delinquent over a year, okay? So when I worked for that company, I got written up at my job because I didn't believe in some of the things that they were actually doing. So I got written up, and I know how it works. They write you up once, they write you up twice, and then what happens? Oh, you don't say. I've been there, done that, seen the movie, got the t-shirt, rented the video, ladies and gentlemen. I know what's up, okay? Isn't it the most uncomfortable feeling driving home that day when you just got a write-up? You get home, you start really kind of intensely looking at yourself, thinking, man, what am I doing? Then you start looking at your kids, you start thinking about how you're bringing them up, all these different things, right? My focus was so terrible, it literally demolished me for about a month after I lost my job. Demolished me. I shouldn't have been focusing on that, though. You see where I'm getting with this? The second part of that triad is focus. If you wake up telling yourself you're a champion, you're a business astronaut, you're going someplace, you know. So I started off with the goals, now I'm showing you how to get the goals. You see this? Okay? So the physiology, if you had control of that, the focus, if you had control of that, and then last but definitely not least, is self-talk. What you tell yourself. Anybody ever heard of a book called Think and Grow Rich?
Yes.
It's pretty popular. Think and Grow Rich. You wonder why the title of the book is not Work and Grow Rich? It's Think and Grow Rich, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Self-talk is so important. So, physiology, focus, and what? Let's try that one more time. Physiology, focus, and what?
Self-talk.
That was a lot better. Let's try that one more time. Physiology, focus, and what?
Self-talk.
Man, pretty soon I'm going to start throwing out some Kool-Aid. All right. So, this is important. Here's what I'll tell you. There was a study done at Cal Berkeley where they took 100 clinically proven depressed people and they tried to cure them. True story. Okay? Now, even one of them that said that they're depressed when they're actually sleeping. I mean, that person's got some serious challenges, yes? Okay? So, these are achievers at the depression level, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So they took 100 of them, and here's what they did. They had them smile in a mirror for 20 minutes every day for the next 30 days. They had them smile at themselves. I swear, this is a true story. They were all cured at the end of 30 days. Pretty crazy. Okay? Now, of course, I don't know if the pharmaceutical companies would like to hear that, but make sense? Physiology, focus, and self-talk. One thing that I've done for my kids is I had them type out what they really believe about themselves, 5 affirmations, and I posted it on their bathroom mirror, and then I had them write out another 5 that they don't believe about themselves yet. It's pretty significant, okay? So my son, he said, I'm the greatest soccer player there is on the field. I'm a champion. I'm the fastest player on my team. All these different affirmations that he had. And then the 5 that he believes he's not, I had him put it in a positive respect. Make sense? Okay? So these are all certain techniques to get you up to a certain level. But in the essence of time, I'm not going to go further. Alright, so that's number 2. What's number 2? Act as if and stop following what?
The
Crowd.
Act as if and stop following what?
The crowd.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Alright, and then number 3, last but not least. Where's my graph? Here it is. Anyone guesses number 3? No guess? Man, I'm like staring at it. Okay. Number 3. Be grateful. Be grateful. There's a seat right over there. I'm sorry. Are you okay? All right. Been doing some lunges, huh?
Sitting all morning.
That's okay. All right, so number 3 is be grateful. All right. There's 2 major things that will make you change, bless you, that will make you change what you're doing in order to change what you're getting. Okay? That's all our goal, isn't it? We need to change what we're currently doing to change what we're getting. We all live life at about 72 degrees, don't we? You know, we get a big bonus at work, or we start really accumulating some cash in our checking account, and then we spend it. Because we live life at that 72 degree marker, okay? Same applies for if life is down. If life is hitting at 61, we do something, we get our energy up, we got to make things happen to go right back up to 72, yes? Okay? So, there's 2 major things that'll make that happen. Number 1, if you're taking notes, number 1 is a defining moment. A defining moment. For me, losing my job was a blessing in disguise. I made $76,000 a year on a W-2 10 years ago. Yeah, I was one of the youngest managers there. And when I lost my job, my feelings were hurt. That was a defining moment. So I said to myself, man, never again is this going to happen again. Never again am I going to have somebody have control over me. Okay? Number 2 is a paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. I was at a fast food restaurant the other day, about a month ago. Anybody ever heard of Farmer Boys?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't Farmer Boys good? What's their slogan? It may take longer, but it's worth the wait. You know? So I'm at Farmer Boys the other day, and I'm eating, and I got, I have a suit on, and I take my suit jacket off because it was kind of hot in there, and this man comes in. He comes in with these 2 little boys, and 2 little boys are brats, man. You ever see brats?
Yes.
Yes.
Man, I hate brats. Hate's not a word, but I hate them, okay? I really think it's a lack of parenting. I really do. So anyways, my sister's got a ton of brats. But anyways, so I'm at the restaurant. I take off my jacket, and the kids are running around, and I'm like, man, if it was me, I'd whip that kid right there. You know what I mean? But the kids are running around. They sit, in the next seating place, right? And one of the kids is gonna put some stuff on my jacket, okay? And right as soon as I'm about to say something to the dad leans over and says, man, I'm really sorry about them. But they just lost their mom 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's a paradigm shift. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I always say, be grateful. We all have some special abilities in life, don't we? They used to say, write down one of your biggest problems and switch it with your neighbor. And once you switch it with your neighbor, you want your problem back.
That's true.
It's important to understand, you know, it's not really, life is bliss. The journey through life is awesome. You know, I'm constantly, you know, something bad happens to me, I go, man, this is awesome. You know, I can't wait until how this is going to work out. I'm constantly thinking about how I'm going to get to my goal. I want a 5,000 square foot home on 3 acres of land with a go-kart racetrack and arcade. Convertible Bentley with mom in the back house. Abs of steel. You know, great physical shape, mind of a warrior, and an incredible family life. I say that to myself every single morning and every single evening. So eventually, my mind that doesn't know the difference between what's real and unreal, eventually I start to visualize it, my rockets are turning, and eventually I get it. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? So I thank you so much for having me today. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all. Hopefully you got a lot out of the 3 things that I discussed here. And I look forward to you guys being big, bad, and successful in the future, and maybe bumping into you at a Starbucks or something. Okay? I like a white chocolate mocha. Okay? Can you imagine that? Like, what if I got together with you guys and I go, hey, I got this great idea. We're going to call this company Starbucks, and we're going to charge people $4 for a cup of Java. Sam, you go, this dude is nuts. But now, we don't call it coffee anymore, don't we? We call it Starbucks, right? It's incredible. You know, they've revolutionized the way that coffee's been distributed. Who knows, maybe one of you guys will come up with some great idea and, you know, hit me up on Facebook and say, hey Manny, I'd like for you to share some money of mine. Thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate it.